Meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Got a motion by Councilmember Henry.
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember McKnight. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. Community comment for anything not on the agenda. Community comment is the opportunity for residents and other stakeholders to share issues or concerns not listed on the agenda with the city. Individuals must limit their comments to 3 minutes. Individuals should not expect the mayor or council to immediately respond to their comments. The city manager, if appropriate, will follow up directly with the presenter and or respond to the questions raised during the community comment at the next meeting. Any comments? Come on up. You do.
Yes.
Yep. You have to, Vicki will help you make sure that the microphone is on, and we ask that you...
wouldn't even have come if I'd known that.
Oh, Sandy. It's okay. But we sit down, make yourself at home. We ask that you introduce yourself and share your address.
Okay,
with us, please.
I'm Sandra McGraw. I live at 1210 Vernon Avenue, Vernon Drive, in Lylewood Glen townhomes. And that's one of the things I'm here about, is the situation in the townhome. I'm sure all of you here have heard a lot from the people in our townhouse that after all the trees and everything were taken out. But I don't think any of you realize the extent when you're living in it. And I would basically, I don't know if there's plans to clean it up. This is one of our questions that we have. If there's any plans to clean up any of that. And if there isn't any plans at this time, I would love to have the council come over to my house. I have the unique position where I'm overlooking the ponding area and the wetland area. And I would love to have people, all of you, come into my house and see what it looks like from our perspective. Because there's got to be something done with that. And our ponding area is getting a lot of litter from everything that was cut down is going into the ponding areas. And we have tons of trees actually, not limbs, trees surrounding the pond, that as the pond level raises, we're going to have a lot of that going in there. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to find something that we can address to be done with that. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mrs. McGraw. We will have Brent follow up.
Yeah,
Or maybe he's got something now.
Yeah, I'm not entirely familiar. So are you talking about the pond maintenance or Jonathan Carver Parkway construction, or what is this?
Well, okay, when you came in, the city came in and cut down all the trees. I don't know, have you been over there, Brent, at all? Okay. I really do wish people would come over there. It was lush and green.
So this is for pond maintenance?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
Chad?
not
Okay.
talking particularly pond maintenance, although we probably have to have that too, because from the wetland area into the ponding area, there's always been the water flow. And this time there was so blocked up, we actually had a geyser trying to get over the top of, and they did come in and they cleaned out that litter.
How about, are you around like tomorrow?
I'm around tomorrow, yes, I am.
Okay, so I'll let Chad and I just stop out and visit, and you can show
Well,
us
he
what
might
you're.
as well, he knows where to come.
Okay,
I know.
okay.
Okay, so I would appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's all I have to say.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
listening.
Yeah, anytime. Okay. We don't have any presentations and reports tonight, nor do we have any public hearings. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Henry and a second by Councilmember Mock. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, moving right along. Business items, 8.1, the 6th Street West Improvement Project, the MnDOT resolution. Mr. Lennis.
Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. This should be a quick one, I think. It's going to be a bit of an effort, the actual variance itself, but you've probably been briefed on this by Mr. Schmidt here. there's some minimums in the state aid world, as we've talked about. As you enter into the world of receiving money for state aid, you also receive all the rules and requirements that go along with it. Well, you've got a bit of a unique situation down there at the T intersection of 6th and Broadway. So that is a partial T that really wants to be a through, and it falls into that exceptional character where we would ultimately have a reduced speed warning sign as we've presented. We submitted originally, and it's an allowable design to actually reduce the speed with warning signs. But as far as their position on it, they didn't comment the first time, but the second time they did comment and say, oh, it's below 30. So that is going to be below the minimums that we expect. We are going to ask you to go to the variance committee to explain the exception and request a formal variance from what they say is state aid design standards. So that would mean what we would be doing is putting a presentation together that says, here's what's unique about this. In order to meet 30 miles an hour, you have to remove houses, and you have to do all these different things. Otherwise, this will forever be a T intersection with the stop sign, and there's nothing you could do until you get into property acquisition and such. So the variance requires that the council know that we're doing this and that it's not our idea to get this exception, and that the council is aware that this would be a permanent record on this route, and it would be a forever variance. And so the gist of it is we would be seeking the resolution allowing us to proceed to the variance committee. They meet 2 times a year. And so that would be in June. We'll present to them, explain the case, why this is exceptional, why we think this is probably the best long-term solution, and they will rule on it, and we will make any refinements necessary based on that. We're either going to do nothing because the variance was accepted, which is what we would expect, or we will have a very, very modest modification to the plan and have to deal with the stop sign. And that is just part of the realities of the state aid system. It doesn't mean it could never be done. It just means it's not going to be done with a state aid project. So that is how this works.
Any questions?
Typically, what are the chances of the variance being approved, percentage-wise?
I would say high.
Okay.
I would say we expect it. There's been a very similar case that went through the variance committee just this last fall. Richfield, very similar situation. We were just chatting about it. Same thing, their post office on the corner, T intersection, commercial access, and they could never get 30 without buying out a major building. And so in that particular case, that was approved. If you look at 284 going into Cologne, that's a state highway. That is clearly not a 55-mile-an-hour curve. It comes down with the big arrow that takes you to the left. That is, without question, a variance on design speed. And so this is no exception to it. And I would say the pedestrian movements, and there's a lot of things that would say that you'd want a single crossing here versus 2. So I would say it's a high probability.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 123-22, requesting a variance from standard for state aid operation for the 6th Street West Improvements Projects, SAP 253-102-001.
Second.
We've got a motion by Councilmember Mock and a second by Councilmember Henry. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, up to communications. Monthly reports an item that we talk about, or it's just on the agenda?
Unless the council has comments.
Any comments? Okay. Mr. Merrick, any update?
I just wanted to thank Chad and his team for their work on the spring cleanup project. We had a new contractor, and it's a high-touch service that we provide for residents, and all indications, show that we had a very successful event. So I just wanted to thank Chad and his team for that work.
Thank you. Did you have something that you were asking about the reports?
No.
Okay.
No, I like them.
Okay.
I just want to say it
I
again.
like them too.
Cool.
I do appreciate the charts. I appreciate the facility rental. I don't know. I find them extremely valuable to look at
Okay.
and get a sense of where we are. So
Sorry.
thank you.
Christy said
That's
you were
it.
trying to get worded. Okay.
No.
Any updates?
The only update I have is for Southwest Transit Commission. We are narrowing down our final candidates for the CEO of Southwest Transit with Len's retirement. So maybe more announcements to come soon.
Any internal candidates?
I'm not sure if I can comment
Fair.
on that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Christy?
This is something Brent, I don't know. So we have intermittent Saturdays for our police service, right? Is it only evenings or do we have daytime on Saturdays too?
We have general coverage all the time, but
Okay.
a dedicated deputy
Is evening?
is evenings.
Okay. My one concern is the road pedal bikers have started for the season. Great, everyone can get out. They do not follow the traffic control signs that we have downtown. They blow right through stop signs, things like that. And I think it's dangerous. I don't know if there's anything, if they're allowed to be so wide on the road, they can ride right down the middle. Maybe they can, I don't know. But for me, when they're coming through town, they come down Old Carver Creek Road here, they hit Broadway and then they go out. They never stop at this stop. I shouldn't say never. That's a terrible word. Generally, when I see it, they do not follow the signs here. So they are blowing right through these stop signs every time they come through. So I don't know if there's something that we can ask. I mean, who do we ask to keep an eye on this, to give them, do they get tickets? What happens? And you're not a police officer, so I guess you probably don't know. Maybe our attorney knows.
I would say generally if we they have to see it. And so if they see something, we can tell them that the council has a concern related to
Bikers?
bicycle safety in the downtown and ask them to be aware of it. I can't speak to if there are fines associated with stop signs, et cetera, on a pedal bike.
It's my understanding, and now this is limited because I don't do criminal prosecution, and rarely do cities adopt ordinances that relate to bicycles, but I think there's a state statute that generally affords bikers the same rights, but also the same responsibilities if they're using public right-of-way as a driver of a motor vehicle, which would suggest that, if they're blowing stop signs and doing things like that, it could be a problem. So I agree with Brent. I think we make law enforcement aware of it, talk to them about the concern, and see if they have feedback, and go from there.
Okay, thanks. It's Saturday mornings. It's like mid-morning on Saturday. Well, it goes all from early to late morning, but it happens a lot in the summer, and it's just started happening again. So if you could do that for me, that would be great.
Yep. We'll likely not have a dedicated car on Saturday mornings, but I can still pass along the message.
That'd be great, thanks. And thanks for letting me finally spit that out and get it out. But yeah, that's all I have.
They're bikers. They do. They think they own the roads. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I have a planning commission meeting Thursday night. Other than that, I got nothing else.
All right. Let's see. Looking back 2 weeks, I stopped by the train burn that was at the house right next to the fire station 2 weeks ago, Wednesday night. It was really cool to see everybody doing their thing and kind of hear and learn a little bit more about what they're doing from a safe opportunity to do so. We had a Carver County Mayor's meeting last Friday where we talked about just a bunch of stuff that's going on in everybody's community, and I've shared with you before that that's one part, like help session and ideation of how one community is doing something that you learn, and one part support group. So it's always a good group. Last week we met with some individuals from MetroNet, and the biggest takeaway from that is when they come in and really start working on their project, there's going to be a website available that says, we know now that they're going to be going in your neighborhood, they'll be in the Bluffs, and they're really going to be, like, their first phase is going to really focus on the Bluffs and kind of everything west of JCP. But once that starts, it sounds like they're going to have a website so that you can kind of tell and anticipate when they're going to come to the rest of our homes. So I know that there are a lot of folks who are really excited about this and who are anticipating it, and there's a couple of individuals who I think email me every 6 months or so saying, is it here yet? Do you have any idea? So I think that that'll be helpful. And then all in, when I asked them how long it would be until the entire city is wired, they said it would be done before before the next, before 4th of July 2023. So that's a little quicker than I thought it would be. So good news, and doesn't seem like we have that long to wait. So let's see. I had a Meet the Mayor event at Carver Ridge. Those folks are always great to talk to and have lots of really great questions about the community. They are so interested, and rightfully so, about when 6th Street is going to be repaired, because that's where they live. That's the street that they have to take to get home every day and night. So they're super excited about that. They're also super excited about some of the development downtown. Got a couple questions about the coffee shop. So, and then I had my mayor's office hours last Saturday morning and had a couple of folks stop by. So that is it for me. I echo Brent's comments about cleanup day, Chad. That was done very, very well. I only saw one person who was upset because their items hadn't been picked up by 10 in the morning. Right. But I think that it was a really good event, and generally there's, in the best years, a little bit of heartburn and, you know, a house or two that's missed, and I didn't hear about any of that this year, so they did a really good job. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion
Second.
by Councilmember McKnight and a second by Councilmember Henry. Any further discussion? We don't have to do that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.